Hi, my name is Dwight Gillespie, and this is Trash TV Review, right? Is that the one we're doing right now? We have two channels, so I get a little confused sometimes. I don't know. Anyway, this is Trash TV Review, and here we review trash TV. It's not all trash, though, like this one. This is something my producer, Walter, gave this to me. He sent me a video from, it's called Fresh and Fit, which I do watch from time to time. I like these guys. I like the perspective on a lot of things, and so right there, you know who I am, right? But I haven't seen this particular video, so Walter gave me this. We're going to do a review on it, right, to see what it's about. So I'm seeing this for the first time. But again, this is Trash TV Review. If you haven't done so already, you know the drill. Go ahead, subscribe, like, comment, share, do all that good stuff, man, and keep coming back no matter what, you know. And boy, that reminds me of something. Anyway. This is Fresh and Fit, which usually these guys have on a bunch of hot girls who don't like guys, and these guys don't seem to really like girls. Although, you know, we all want to have sex, so, you know, and they're all heterosexual, so it really forces us to do. That's a mosquito that's flying around here. Anyway, I'll get it when I get a chance. Anyway, let them land. Okay, so here we go. Without further ado, the video.
Fuck your feelings, man. Like
We're off to a good start already. Fuck your feelings. And you know that's like my mantra, man. Fuck your feelings. Your feelings aren't paying your bills. You know, but I want to feel good. That has nothing to do with real life feeling good. Okay, let's not. If we're going to do this every 3 words, it's going to take a long time. All right.
If you're fat, this is an emergency. We got to take action right now.
Right now, right.
But
do you not agree? Have you been with somebody for a long time and a long time, like over a period of time, that they get fat? That like that some of that, like you shouldn't have never even let it got to that point. Like
I feel like
you should have never even let it got to that point. Very nice.
Tough love does not work for everybody. If you always just straight up tell your friends, "Oh, you're a fat fuck, go lose weight." Some friends might actually listen to that and be like, "Okay, I'm gonna go do that." But
listen. Sometimes your friends just are fat fucks and you need to tell them that. But you can do it in a nicer way. And I believe that. And again, I don't believe I'm picking on people's looks. But I got to tell you, fat phobic, hello, that's me. I am absolutely fat phobic. And I'm going to tell you why. And I've told you before, I'm fat phobic because I've lost almost 90 pounds now. And in that time that I've lost it, it's been almost exactly a year. I started October 12th of 2021. I started a new eating system. It's not a diet because it's the way I have to eat. Because dieting, you're right, dieting doesn't work. Changing the way you eat does. Because you can't do this is like anything. You can't do it for a little while and expect it to be long. I don't understand why I'm fat. 6 months ago, I was eating really good. You know, no, but you're not eating well now. And it's something that you have to do consistently in order for it to work, right? And that's exactly what had to happen, right? So I don't believe in putting people down for the way they look, but telling people, listen, I'm fat phobic because I'm no longer on heart. I was taking 2 heart medications every day, 2 heart medications. I'm not on it anymore. My doctor took it off. I had knee replacement surgery. They're no longer talking about replacing the other knee. They're no longer talking about replacing my hips because I'm not pulling around every day an extra 90 pounds around my waist. Right? My heart's working better and my back feels better. I'm in better shape now than I was 15 years ago, okay? I feel better now. I have more energy and can do more things. So when you want to talk about that fat phobic bullshit, that shit may work when you're under 40, right? Oh, you're healthy at any size. Yeah, fuck you. Let me tell you something. You get to be over 50. You keep pumping that bullshit, right? My friends who've lost their toes, then their foot, then underneath the calf to diabetes. You tell them you're healthy at any size. Bullshit. That's a lie, and you're lying to yourself. And people wouldn't lie to you like that if you had a heroin addiction, right? They would say, he's healthy at any needle size. Oh, that's fine. Let him do it. No. By the way, heroin, much skinnier. Anyway, let's go. Crack, another one, right? They call it the stem fast diet. Yeah, you want to lose weight? Just smoke a lot of crack. It'll be fine. Yeah, and the same assholes who won't give you shit about being fat shouldn't give you shit about smoking crack. What's the difference?
Friends will really cry and
okay, no. I disagree. The reason why everyone is fat is because there is no tough love. Everyone's like, oh, you're perfect the way you are. Love your curves. All this fuckery. No, man. If you're fat,
fuckery. I like that. That's a great one. Fuck all this fuckery. Because it is fuckery. You know what you're doing by telling your friend that it's okay to be fat? You're letting them kill themselves. You are letting them die a slow, methodical death. Because that's exactly what's happening. Because people may talk all that bullshit. Oh, I'm pretty at any size. That's the lie. Fat people feel horrible inside. I would look in mirrors and I would feel horrible about myself. And I said, well, I like to eat. I quit doing heroin and I quit smoking. My last vice is food and I should be allowed to do. You can. But on the other end of that, listen, my friend says it. He says it's either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Which do you want to feel? I'd rather feel the pain of discipline. I get on my fucking bike. I hate that bike. Right? I got myself one of those cycle things, spin cycles. And I do this one like because I'm a chauvinist, right? I'm a fucking asshole that way. I got this thing. Like I have YouTube. I'm a YouTuber, right? So I have YouTube. I pay for the YouTube Premium, so I don't have I hate commercials. I don't have a TV because I hate commercials, right? And I also hate TV. But anyway, another podcast entirely. Funny that I do trash TV review, right? And I don't have a television. But I hate it. I got this video. It's 20 minutes of these chicks doing a spin class. And it took me a long time to do it because the first time I did it, I did 4 minutes of a 20-minute exercise. I'm like, because I'm like the chauvinist, I could keep up with these women. Well, yeah, but these women are 20 years old and in great shape. They all look fantastic, right? And they're 20. I'm 59 and I'm like, like that. And it was just, fuck this. This is all bullshit, right? So it took me like another week to start doing it again. And I got it right here. And I do it and I keep going. And now I do like 12 minutes now, but I'm doing it. Because it takes commitment, right? Because I don't want to be a fat fuck. Yeah. Because I'm fat phobic.
Unfucking acceptable. You are in control of every single morsel that goes in your mouth. You can count your calories. There's no excuse to be fat. So if my girl gains weight, I'm going to tell her, you're fat as fuck. You need to lose weight. Period. This is unacceptable. Because guess what? Me as a man, I have to adhere to certain standards to even get the girl in the first place. Right? Am I going to just stop paying the bills? Am I going to not protect her when shit goes down? Am I just going to start being a bitch and be like, you know what? I want you to lead the relationship. No. I always have to adhere to my masculine burner performance. So you can't even keep from putting too much food in your fucking mouth and you get fat? No. Fuck no. That's unacceptable.
I mean, you can be.
See, and here's something on the other end of that. And this is nothing. One of the reasons that I wanted to get fit, right, is because I wanted to attract a woman who was fit. And I expect to give, right, what I expect to receive. I can't look at attractive women in their mid 50s, late 50s, and expect to be with them and be 90, 100, 110 pounds overweight. I expect to be with this woman who's athletic and likes hiking and camping and doing all these outdoor things that I really like to do, that I was limited in doing because I was so big and I couldn't move. And I would go on hikes and I couldn't hike for more than a mile. Now, what fit woman wants to be with that? And exactly what he's saying, like I plan on being a man in this relationship and I plan on giving you what I expect to get. I want a woman, a good woman who's fit and who acts like a lady. I expect to be fit and act like a man. Like that's what I expect. So I expect to get what I give and give what I get.
So without being a dick.
No, man.
I think even if you're the truth is the truth.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. You can do it without being a dick. Your girl starts putting on some weight. You can talk to her about it. You don't have to say, yo, bitch, you're fat. I ain't going to fuck you no more because you're fat. That's a little fucking crude, but you can't say, baby, I see you putting on some weight. Like, what's going on? And I am. I'm a talker. I don't want to make people feel bad. I'm not in this to make people feel bad because I've been there. And look, and people can talk. And all this shit, attractive, and he says, I don't believe that. I don't believe people down inside of themselves feel that way. And they say, that's because society bullshit. It's because you see that. All animals, listen, there's a reason that the peacocks have the big plumage, right? Because that's what attracts a mate. You don't see peacocks going around with no feathers going, fuck it, man, I'm pretty without feathers. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. People are attracted to something, not because society says it, but because we're animals. And animals are attracted to things. And that's why you look in the animal kingdom, and that's the way it is. And you can talk all that happy horse shit you want. And I do know guys that were attracted to big women. I don't know a lot of women who are attracted to big men. Yeah, there are a couple chubby chasers, but there are more guys who are willing to fuck fat women than there are attractive women willing to fuck fat men, unless they have fat wallets. Let's face it, And we know what we call those women, right?
The truth is the truth.
Okay, what if she's pregnant? What if, it's someone who's pregnant?
But he didn't say that.
There's nothing more beautiful than a pregnant woman, by the way. Nothing more beautiful than that. A woman carrying your child is the most beautiful thing on the face of the earth. My second wife, we had, she was pregnant twice with my children. And let me tell you something. She was never more beautiful than when she was carrying my child. And that's different. That's not being fat. That's being pregnant. That girl's hot, by the way. She's very hot.
You were gonna say
that's my thing right there. She's hot.
Yeah, that's completely different. So it's like,
it's different.
It's like, the problem is that we sugarcoat shit too much and we let women get away with fuckery and we don't tell them the truth. The reason why we have so many fat hoes nowadays is because no one tells women, you're fat.
And it's true. It's true. And we just put them to the side and keep moving. Go, yeah. You're beautiful at any size. We'll see you. You're not invited to the party on Saturday. You can stay home, look in the mirror, and tell yourself how pretty you are.
The majority of obese people fat holes is because everything is supersized for 25 cents more.
Yeah, sure, but that doesn't mean you got to eat it. Supersized for 20. Yeah, you're right. They want you fat. It's so funny to me that everybody sues the tobacco companies, right? But nobody sues McDonald's. I don't know. Well, that'll be something, right? Here we go. Uh-oh. But it's true. I never understand. They cause more damage than any tobacco company, than anything that what is it? Reynolds, R.J. Reynolds, I think it is, that makes Philip Morris is another. They get sued all the time. These fucking people inspire you to eat until you die and nothing. We're an obese nation. They say like 60% of Americans now suffer from being overweight. And nobody sues these people.
Zero accountability. You buy though. You control the food that you buy. You control every single piece. Does McDonald's tell you?
And that was a big thing I had to do when I started. When I started this process, the first thing I did, it was a great book, and I'm going to plug it because the book changed my life. It's called Bright Line Eating by Susan Pierce Thompson, and she convinced me that I'm a food addict, that I'm addicted to sugar, I'm addicted to flour. And she gave a whole thing of this is what you can eat. More importantly, this is what you can't eat, right? And the first rule number 1, get rid of all the shit in your house that you can't eat, right? So when I get that urge at night, I'm hungry. You know what I have to eat? An apple. You know what I used to have to eat? Hot Pockets. And not one, but a box. Like, I'm not eating one of anything. I'm an addict. Like, I know that. Like, there was a test on her website for addicted personalities, right? 10 questions. I was perfect. It was like a perfect 10 out of 10. If it was an SAT, I'd be going to any school I wanted, and that's it. Like, I can't stop at one of anything. And that was the first rule, was get rid of all the shit in your house that you can't eat. Because he's right. I control what I buy. My friends say, why can't you come out to the diner? Because I can't eat any of the food there. And that's not what I eat. And I do now. In the beginning, I didn't. But and now I go out because I have come to a point where I do like salads, where I eat these things. But before I wanted the double cheeseburger with bacon and the onion rings and all that stuff. I wanted that stuff. And what am I going to go pay to sit? It's like torture. It's like paying for my own torture. I'm going to sit there. It is a place called Jackson Hole over here. Great burgers, right? It's in Astoria. And I'm sitting there and my friend's like, well, I don't understand. You could have a salad. I'm like, are you kidding me? They got the best burgers in the world. And they're like 3/4-pound burgers. They're fucking huge. And they're delicious. And they're greasy and they drip and they got great onion rings, man. I said, I'm going to go and sit there and pay $25 for a fucking salad to watch you people eat what I want to eat. I mean, at the time, I looked at salad as the food that my food eats. This isn't the shit that I want. And I had to change that mentality over time, But I am in control of this. I have nobody to blame but me. And people, diets do work. You have to stick to them. It's not a diet. It is an eating plan for life. That's the difference. That's the paradigm. Stephen Covey, the paradigm shift. And the paradigm shift had to come from me to say, this is not a diet. I'm not on a diet. This is the way I eat. This is what I eat. You say a vegetarian eats certain things. A vegan eats certain things, right? I eat this. This is what I have to eat, right? And I don't deviate because deviation causes me to eat more than I want. It causes me to eat things I don't want to eat. So I love that he says this. He's a little bit rougher with it than I am, but it's the same thing.
Hey, does Ronald McDonald show up in your house with a fucking mask on?
No, but there's a McDonald's. There's a McDonald's.
Eat this fucking Big Nugget now with fries.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I work out every day, but
I got to stop one more time. I got to tell you what my food used to consist of before I did this, right? I would eat a full meal. I would order out all the time. I never cooked. So I would order out and I would get usually 2 entrees, right? And here's my night. This is my night. And you tell me whose fault it was that I was fat, right? And it is, accept me as I am, right? I would call, there's a place up the street, Italian place. I'm in Queens, so there's a place everywhere. Like every 3, buildings is a fucking restaurant here, So I would order 2 entrees usually, and I would justify it by saying, well, there's not really a lot of ravioli there, so it's not really like a whole entree, right? So I get a thing of ravioli, a thing of lasagna. I get the cheesy garlic bread, which is really out of this world, right? And I would eat that, and then I would get for an entree. I love the shrimp Rockefeller, unbelievable. And that would be dinner. Like I'd eat that dinner. And then I would go out to my 12-step meeting, because I go to 12-step meetings. And on my way home, and that's what I say, is because on my way home, there's a McDonald's like literally right across the street. I'd go through the drive-thru, right? And if I wasn't that hungry, it would be 2 fillet of fish, a 10-piece chicken nugget, a chocolate shake, and 2 apple pies. That's after I ate all that stuff. And I don't understand why I can't lose weight. If I was hungry... It's two double quarter pounders with cheese, 1 fillet of fish, a 10-piece chicken nugget, and 2 hot apple pies, because you have to have the hot apple pies, and a chocolate shake. And I would eat that after having the 2 entrees and wonder why I'm not, but I don't eat breakfast. No shit. It's a wonder I did, I could eat anything, that I just didn't split at the seams, And I paid the price for it. Like I said, heart medication. I was pre-diabetic. I had bad hips, knee surgeries, like all this shit. And yeah. You gotta eat this. Yeah. You don't.
That's I'm an exception.
So what do you say?
But there's a McDonald's in every other block.
All right.
It's cheap to eat disgusting.
That's
so
true.
No, it's not though. It's not cheap to eat disgusting. It is not.
Is not.
We tell ourselves that, right? What it is to eat disgusting is easy. It's not cheap. But that meal I talked about at McDonald's, at least here in New York, you're talking over $20 for that food. That's not cheap. And for over $20, I can cook a whole chicken. I can have salad, right? I can and vegetables. For that same $20, I can cook a really good meal. But what? I can't get that really good meal in 10 minutes. Yeah. And there's the difference. It's not cheap. It's expedient. But that expedience, right? Because what I say, instant gratification. Anytime I'm instantly gratified, it is not good for me. And this is an exact example of that. If I take the time to cook a good meal, and I'll have leftovers, by the way, from that $20 meal. That chicken, I'll eat that chicken for 4 days. It's not that I'm gonna just eat the whole chicken in one sitting. Anyway.
Not the best. I'm not not being responsible over myself. Clearly I am, which is why I fucking intermittent fast. Or however you say.
What's your intermittent fast? Oh, I don't eat breakfast. You see, that's that. I don't eat breakfast. I don't understand. I'm intermittent fasting. I haven't eaten for 14 hours. Of course, 14 hours ago, I ate 3 tons of food, but I'm intermittent fasting. Yeah.
Point here.
My point is,
it's
cheaper to buy fast
She's
food
really
and horrible
pretty.
food rather than to buy something healthy.
Who's
It's just not us females that are fat.
Yo. You guys are doing everything possible to avoid accountability. Yeah. If you're fat, it's your fucking fault.
Right. It's not your metabolism. Because it's funny how people with these slow metabolism, I got a thyroid problem. They don't have that shit in fucking Haiti and Ethiopia and these places where people are hungry all the time, right? It's funny how few thyroid problems they have there, right? It's your caloric intake. I remember saying, I think it was Roseanne Barr. She lost a lot of weight, right? And getting away from her controversies. I'm not saying I'm a fan or anything. I'm just talking about her diet. And they asked her, so what kind of? She says, oh, I'm on the weirdest diet in the world. I never heard of it. It's called Eat Less and Move More. like duh. It's not fucking rocket science, people. It's not rocket science. And for me, I had to cut out flour and sugar. And it took a while. Like I had to detox my body off of that shit. Right. And I was in a fog for weeks, a couple weeks, where it really affected me, affected my sleep. I was lethargic. And it took a while to work that stuff out of my body. But once I did, the cravings had subsided. And I craved. Once I start eating sugar or flour, Because the flour, by flour, I mean pasta, pizza. Because I'm not really a sweets guy. I'm a carbs guy. Like carbs were my thing, man. Bread, I could eat if it's good, like a good loaf of Italian or French bread, man. And I heat that thing up, put the butter on it, some cheese. Boy, I go to town. I eat that shit up and eat till I puke, you know. And yeah, and I had a detox off of that stuff in order to get there, you know. But it's up to me. It's up to me to do these things.
Yep. You choose every single piece of food that goes into your mouth. If you are fat, you deserve to get made fun of because you have zero self-control. And since you have zero self-control,
see, I not made fun of. You deserve to be cautioned. It's like if you had a heroin habit. It's the same to me. It's the same thing. I would talk to you about it. I say, is this really how you want to live? Because telling me that you want to live fat and you want to live in such an unhealthy state is like telling me I want to shoot heroin and I don't want to stop. And look, some people are like that. But how come it is that people that are shooting heroin and don't want to stop, they don't try to sell me that same bullshit that it's okay, that I can live this way and it's all right? It's not okay. You're killing yourself. Would anybody walk up to a heroin addict or an alcoholic or a crackhead and say, it's okay that you choose to live this way? No. So why do we do it with people who are addicted to food? Why is that okay? Why is it okay to watch your loved one, the people you care about and you love, eat themselves to death, right? To sit crying over the way that they feel, and fuck the way they look, but the way that they feel, right? Being lethargic, not being able to participate. And people, I participate. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. You think you do. You think you do because your fat friends can keep up with you, or you can keep up with your fat friends. But you get in with a lot of healthy, fit people who you probably tend to not hang around, right? Because like when I was doing heroin, I didn't hang around with people who weren't doing heroin. They were all doing heroin when I looked around. And that also, you are the company you keep. And if you keep the company of people who have an addiction to food, you're going to have an addiction to food. People, places, things. These things got to change.
I know you have zero discipline. Since you have zero discipline, you don't respect yourself. Since you don't respect yourself, why the fuck should I respect you? You're a fat fuck. Lose the fucking weight.
100% of fucking greed.
Acceptable, bro. Like, I'm tired.
That's true.
Of people.
It's true.
Yo, so real talk. I'm tired of people incentivizing mediocrity.
What? That's me. Right? Stop living such a mediocre life. Break that cycle of mediocrity. And mediocrity breeds mediocrity. See, all this shit leads back to my whole thing about, and we do a lot of Maury shows on here, right? And what do I always talk about? The cycle of mediocrity. Having children with people who have no business having children. I really thought he loved me. You knew him for a month. You knew, what did he love? You know what he loved? Your vagina. He loved your vagina. And that was it. And once he made a baby with you, he was gone, like he was with the other 3 women that he made babies with, right? Because he's a piece of shit. It's not you, it's him. But you laid down with him. You allowed him to put a baby inside you, and he's a piece of shit.
If you're fucking fat, it's a problem, whether you're a man or you're a woman. Matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. If you're a woman and you're fat, it's even worse. Bitch, you got one job.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. No. It's equally reprehensible. It's not worse for anybody. I disagree with that.
Yep. Look good. You can't even do that. What the fuck? Unacceptable.
Look at these women looking at him like, you are an asshole. Look at this. There's a young girl right here. She's just looking at him like, you did not just say that. And I disagree with that. I think it's reprehensible whether you're a man or a woman. Not reprehensible. That's a harsh word. I think that it's what do I want to say? Detrimental for a man or a woman. It's equally detrimental. Again, I'm not judging it. I've been there. I know about this stuff. So you're fat phobic. Yeah, I get called that all the time online. And yeah, you're right. I am fat phobic because I know what that fat brings. Not just that my self-esteem, what it does to my self-esteem, what it does to my self-worth and all that other shit. It's what it does to me physically. Like physically, I don't feel good. And that doesn't change from man to woman. Those bad feelings don't change from man to woman. And this idea that, it's a woman's only job is to look good. I disagree with that. And I got to tell you, and any lady out there, I'm going to tell you right now, if you can't take care of yourself financially, I don't want anything to do with you. I ain't no sugar daddy. And I ain't moving nobody into my house who's, you live there? Oh, that's a nice town. I got 3 kids. How many bedrooms you got? Nah, get the fuck, keep walking, you know? I don't deal with that shit. I need a woman who's self-sufficient. I need a woman who takes care of herself. And these are the women that I date. I date women who are self-sufficient, that take care of themselves, that want an active lifestyle, because that's what I'm looking for. And I'm looking to get what I'm willing to give, right? Because that's the way life works. And what do I always say, right? Sickness gets sickness. Wellness gets wellness. If you're healthy, you're going to find a healthy person. If you're unhealthy, you're going to say, I could fix that. I could make that woman love me. She's not going to be a crazy lunatic with me. I'm going to show her I'm a good man and I don't cheat. No, you're not. No, you're not, because she's nuts. Just like women, he'll get a job for me. He's going to love me. He's not just going to make babies and run off like he did with the other 3 bitches because he didn't really love them. He loves me. That's what he told you to fuck you. Anyway, let's go back. I do like the look on that young lady right there. She's attractive too. All these girls are fairly attractive. Anyway.
What goes in your fucking mouth, bitch?
Okay. What about the people who literally are trying so hard to lose weight and they can't no matter what?
No!
That's a lie. That's a lie. There's nobody trying real hard to lose weight who doesn't lose weight. If you try real hard, because you know what that means? If you're trying real hard means you've modified your diet, you've read up. Listen, I know every diet there is. Every diet. I've been on them all. I've been at Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Atkins, the New Jersey diet. I've done all of these fucking diets. And you want to know something? I'm going to tell you a little secret right here. They all work. Every single one of them. There's one caveat. You have to do it every day. And one of the things that I also got out of my head, and the Bright Line Eating got out of my head, Susan Pierce Thompson, again, God bless you, Susan Pierce Thompson. And one thing that got out of my head is that I deserve a cheat day. I used to do heroin, did heroin every day for many, many years, right? No cheat days in quitting heroin. They don't say, well, you know what? You can do it on Sundays. Sundays you can shoot all the dope you want. No. You don't do it. It's one or the other. It's black and white. And recovery is the one place that you can be black and white in your life, and that's what it is. You either do or you don't. It's on or off, up or down. There's no in between on these things. And for me, that's the way I deal with the food. There's no in between on it. This is the way I eat. And that's what it works. If I'm trying so hard. Really? I remember they caught that one chick at Disneyland who claimed that, she's the big fat model, which I think is, anyway, again, just extolling the virtues of fatness, right? She was, I forget, she was down at Disney World. She's a British lady. She was down at Disney World with her kid, shoveling this shit in her mouth like it was no tomorrow, talking about, I really only consume about 1,800 calories a day. Yeah, what? For breakfast? Who are you trying to kid? And it's just ridiculous. And oh, by the way, this is the hottest girl in this circle, by the way. Even given her she's got brown hair on one side and white hair on the other, blonde, whatever it is. She's very pretty. Anyway, I digress. I'm a dirty old man. What can I say?
Oh, they're not trying hard enough. Person that tells me I'm trying to lose weight and they say some bullshit about my thyroid or shut the fuck up. There's no such thing as thyroid issues in Africa. Nigga.
Oh, look. There's a producer there. He's fat.
Oh my God. You're gonna put my mom.
Got nice teeth though.
Stop right now. They violated.
No. Hold on. Y'all don't know the story. Mo came here. He was way fatter. He's lost like 50, 60 pounds. Why? Because of tough love. I told him, you're fat as fuck. This is unacceptable. And he's losing the weight. With men, we accept reality. Women, I don't like the way that you said it.
I disagree with that, too, because I didn't accept reality for a long time on a lot of different things. I don't think there's any difference between men and women with the disease of addiction, we'll call it, right? Because all of this is just a manifestation of a bigger problem, and I talk about that too. Like your eating is not a problem of the food. The food is the symptom. Like I knew a guy who got his stomach stapled, right? I used to work for him, and I was into some illicit things at the time, right? And he came out after he got his stomach stable. He went from 475 pounds to 175 pounds, and he started talking about his Achilles. He says his Achilles hurt him. You think you can get me some of it? Because everybody knew I was a pillhead at work, right? Can you get me some of those pills? And I said to him, I said, you don't want any part of this world, man. You don't want to get involved with this shit. Leave it alone. No, you know, I got my Achilles. And I said, well, go to your doctor. If you got a problem with your Achilles, he'll give you pain. Well, he doesn't understand. And right there it clicked. This guy wants to get high. He didn't give a fuck. It had nothing to do with his Achilles. This man was looking for an out. He couldn't use food anymore. We used to go out to eat, right? And he would, and I'm not kidding, man. He would make me look good because he would literally be ordering 3 entrees for breakfast. He would get the Belgian waffles, the pancakes, scrambled eggs, an omelet, sausage, bacon, and all that shit. And before it even came to the table, he'd be like, so what are we doing for lunch? And that's no lie. When he stopped eating, right? He went out, he got the surgery. They stapled his stomach, so it's about that big, right? He would order the same food. It wasn't like he modified what he ate. He ate the same shit, but he could only eat a bite or 2. And then he would give the rest away. And he'd like, look at you. Like, you ever eat in front of your dog and your dog starts drooling, right? Because you won't give him nothing. You go, ooh, this look good, don't it? You know, like you'd be real mean, right? And that's what... So when he's like, no, I need to put, I said, fine. And at the time I was getting the pills $8 a piece. So what did I tell? I dope fiend them, right? I said, there's 16 a piece and you got to buy 10, right? So he's giving me $160. So, I took 10 for me, 10 for you. And he's lucky I didn't triple it. But eventually, by the way, he also found out that I was fucking him on that. And he was very... You've been fucked. I said, well, what did you expect? He got fired. Eventually, he just like me, the pills got too expensive, so he moved to dope because it's a lot cheaper to do heroin, and he got fired because he kept nodding out on the job, and he was a supervisor, and you can't have that. Anyway, the whole point is that this is a problem. Like, and men and women suffer from it equally. Addiction is the problem, right? These are manifestations of a deeper problem. That's why I say, I don't want to get my stomach stapled. I don't want a sleeve. I don't want a balloon. I want to learn. And the reasons I'm overeating, I want to learn why I do this to myself. Like, what's behind that? This isn't just a matter of how you eat. This is a matter of self-esteem. This is a matter of self-worth, self-respect, like all of these things. This is where I differ from these guys. Like, these guys are brutal. And I know that's part of their shtick too. They're to the point. They don't pull any punches and everything. And I actually like these 2 guys because they do give it to you tough. And sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need it like this. Hey, you're a fat fuck. If you're not responding to the other shit, it's time to get tough. What are you going to do? Or do you want to die? Because that's what it comes down to. You're going to fucking die. Eventually, you're going to die. I have a dear friend of mine. He was 450 pounds. I said, dude, how many 450-pound 60-year-olds do you see? Look around you. If you find them, they have oxygen, right? They're doing the oxygen. They can't move. People out there will know. Fat people will know. And again, the fat people, you all know the diets. Stick to one. Find one that works for you. For me, what worked for me was understanding that I'm addicted to sugar and flour and that I can't eat it in any form. So I had to go on a modified eating plan that didn't include anything with sugar or flour. So I don't consume sugar and flour. And as a result, I have lost almost 90 pounds, as I said. So let's continue.
Fuck your feelings, bitch. You got one job.
Fuck
if
your
I was
feelings.
broke,
That's right. Because your feelings aren't helping you. I
have to accept that and eat it.
True.
It's true.
Yep.
If I'm smoking,
That's if you look at what 2 weeks ago on my other channel, we did something called the 51-49 principle. And it's if 51% of you becomes willing, you'll be able to do it. However, if only 49% of you becomes willing, you're not going to do it. So you fuck your feelings. Well, I eat because of this, that. Don't make me feel bad because of my weight. You're never going to lose it. And again, it's not a matter of losing weight. It's a matter of being healthy. And that's another thing I had to get through my head. I didn't do this like Susan Pierce Thomas. She'll talk about it. Don't get set on a number. The number isn't important. What's important is eating healthy and coming into what she calls your right-sized body. And I believe in that. My right-sized body, and it's called being healthy. It's I don't want to be anorexic. I don't want to be fat. I want to be where I'm supposed to be for my age, for my height. All of those things together. I want to be healthy, right?
I'm a dork, living with my mom, whatever it is. Reality punishes me for being a loser.
Yeah.
Why can't we punish women for being losers?
No, because
You're
we're
fat.
different.
There's a difference between being fat and not having money.
Hold on. And you know what?
I love this. These women who are probably all consider themselves feminist, talking about how different they are than men.
I get your point. You're right.
And when you make 75 cents an hour, on the dollar for a man, I don't want to hear it.
bunch of stores,
different.
restaurants, put in places to make us, fall for it, be in that environment, and it's not our fault. However, you have a choice to make. A, you go down a path where they want you to eat food, kill yourself, get cancer, all that shit. It's up to you. Or, you know what? My health is important to me and my family. I'm gonna make that a priority. I'm gonna eat healthy, even though it may cost me some more. I'm gonna eat where I know it can put me in a good position.
Yep.
It's just a choice. At the end of the day, yeah, things are fucked up. People put McDonald's or whatever in bad areas, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, you got choice.
McDonald's is in every area. Don't give me that shit. I got a McDonald's. I'm in a nice neighborhood. Trust me. I got a McDonald's right across the street. Right down the street is Wendy's. I got a Taco Bell is a half a mile that way. Like I got everything right around me. So they only put them in bad neighborhood. No, they put them in bad neighborhoods as well as every other neighborhood. Except the really good neighborhoods, because I'm not in a really good. I'm in a good neighborhood. I'm in a good neighborhood for Queens.
That's all.
Man, we got to get out the victim mindset, man. If I was president, I would have fat people extinct within days.
That's got to be for a fact, But I do agree with that victim mentality, and your victim status is the most important thing in the world. What did I say? If you're African American, Down syndrome, small person who's obese and transgender, you got it made. I mean, like, you hit the fucking the mega victimization of it. And not to say that those people don't have valid reasons, for concern or whatever. But what I'm saying is if this is what you live for, you're in trouble. If all you are one of those things, you're in trouble. You are more than whatever that your victim status is. I wrote a book. It's called Price Tags. And in that, I talk about my ex-wife. We lost our kids in an accident. And she will forever be the mother of a dead child. Like, that's who she is. And she wears that. That's it. And nothing compares to that. If you live for that victim status, no matter what it is, you're fucked, because that's all you'll ever be. All you're ever going to be is that victim. And you're not. You're much more than that. Rise above it. And then you're somebody who overcame that victim status, which is even better, man.
Tax rate. 99% tax rate. You're either going to get stranded from starvation or die from starvation. One of the two. And you can only spend that 1% that you make on healthy food. So you got to pick what's going to happen. Mandatory jail. I will have everyone in shape. Because here's the problem. Y'all don't get it. When you're fat, it fucks up a lot of things. It's a drain on the medical system. The number one killer is heart disease. Where do you get that heart disease? From being a fat fuck and not exercising some kind of discretion in what you eat. We sit here and we allow people to be fat pieces of shit.
Listen, he's right too. You look at Medicaid and Medicare, right? What are the biggest expenses? Heart disease, asthma. You have respiratory ailments. You have joint disease, rheumatoid arthritis, like all of these things, diabetes. All of these things are directly attributed to being a fat fuck. He's right about that. That there's no dispute in that. And it may not be all these people, because I always love it. You're fat phobic. You're under 40. I guarantee it. Because anybody over 40 knows what these things are doing to them. You know what it's doing to you. And the rare person, not me. Let me take a look at your medical records and I'll prove how fucking wrong you are. You're full of shit. If you're over 40, especially, all right, we'll say 45. You're over 45, I'm going to see back trouble, at a very minimum, back troubles, arthritis, knee joint pains, all this other shit that's going on, asthma, respiratory, COPD, all of these things that are directly attributed to being overweight, and that's just the way it is. He's absolutely right. And it is a fucking drain on the system.
Bog down our medical system. If we didn't devote so much effort into fat loss prevention, heart disease, etc., we could cure real fucking diseases like cancer. But we spend so much.
Which many cancers also they have directly linked to food consumption, especially for shitty food.
Money on heart disease because people don't understand that their cholesterol is too fucking high. They got to stop eating grease. They got to eat foods that aren't necessarily terrible for them and exercise. People are lazy as fuck, man. I have zero sympathy for fat people, bro.
Can I ask you a question?
He's a compassionate guy. All right. Yeah, he's not a very compassionate man, but it's all part of what he does here too. I understand that.
Would you feel this deeply if you weren't a trainer? You said you were a trainer before, right? You've said that on your show.
But he's a trainer because he feels this way, not the other way around.
You feel like you would still feel the same way?
Absolutely. Here's the thing. I didn't experiment. I got fat on purpose. and I lost the weight again.
Yeah, it was.
So it can be done.
Yeah, it was.
So I have zero sympathy for fat people, bro, because most of the time the reason why people are fat is because they lack discipline.
Do you?
No. I disagree. I don't think there's willpower and discipline have nothing to do with being fat or being an alcoholic or being a heroin addict. It's not about that. And I've had people in recovery tell me that very same thing, and I disagree. I think, and this is why I say that the food is a symptom of a deeper problem. I really believe that it's a psychological, that there's some psychological illness. I'm going to call it, it's a mental illness. I think that addiction is a mental illness. I really do. There's something inside us that knows that even though we're killing ourselves, that there's some component of that we just don't stop anyway. And you see it. You see people living on the street who are using drugs to their death. And food is the same. You know, I know people that have 5 stents in their fucking heart and are still eating double cheeseburgers with bacon and stuff. And who does that? Like, there has to be some kind of an illness going on there where you can look at this and your doctor's telling, watch that 600-pound, my 600-pound life. You know, where they have these people who literally, they can't bathe themselves. They can't take a shit on their own. And these are people in their 30s. They're not like older people or anything. You talk about all healthy at any size. Look at my 600-pound life. You can't say that, right? And if you can say, well, not healthy at any size, well, then you have to say, well, then what size? What size? If you can put a limit on it somewhere, right? Because obviously, even the people who talk about fat phobia and all this other shit can't possibly think that you're healthy at 1,000 pounds. So where's the cutoff? 800 pounds? 400 pounds? Like, what's the cutoff? And why? Like, why? It's not about discipline. If it was just about discipline, then anybody could do it. You have to change your mindset. You have to change the paradigm that leads you to believe that this is the best you can do. And when you can do that, and I would highly recommend entering a 12-step program, getting professional help goes a long way for all of these things. You know, it's not just about this. If it was about discipline, I would have quit a long time ago. Like I said, I've been on every diet known, but there was always something that triggered me to go back. And I really believed that the flour and the sugar had a lot to do with it. I'd get that taste in my mouth and boom, off and running again. It's the same with the dope, you know, like dope, it took away a lot of the pain. I lost my kids in an accident. And let me tell you something, I do heroin and it all melted away for a little while. And then it was still there when I came down. And Neil Young said it best, right? Every junkie's like a setting sun, you know, and it's true. You go down, you got to come back up, man. You know, it just doesn't, that's just the way it is. And breaking that cycle is very difficult. And I disagree. I don't think it has anything to do with discipline or willpower. I think it has to do a lot with surrendering to a solution, understanding that you're powerless over this stuff and that one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. And that once you get started, you will not be able to stop. And the thing is to not get started. The only power I have over these afflictions that I have is to not take that first one, regardless of whether it's a drink, a line of dope, a line of Coke, a lot of, any of that stuff. A slice of pizza. I haven't had pizza or pasta since October 12th of 2021. And that's the only way I've been able to do this, is to admit I have no discipline when it comes to this stuff. I have no willpower when it comes to it. That once I get into it, I cannot stop. And that's it.
You think that there's a conspiracy as far as the United States being the #1 country in...
Get the fuck out of here. They're fat in Europe, too. I've been to Europe. They're fat there, too, please. In fact, Encinitas, California, where I love, and I've talked about in this video, I think. Didn't I even mention it here? I think so. No, it was the last video. We talked about commitment and stuff. Encinitas, California. I love it. I remember the first time I went out there, and I'll tell this quick because I know this video is running real long, but I want to tell this. They have In-N-Out Burger there, which is like, I guess like it's just a fast food burger place. And I'm in there and it's Encinitas, California, beautiful place. And I remember calling my friend Anthony. I'm like, Anthony, they're all beautiful. Like, I'm eating the same food that these people are, and I'm the only fat fuck in here. Like, I couldn't figure it out, you know? And I said to him, I think that in the hospital, they sacrifice all the ugly babies to the pretty gods, you know? Because everybody, whatever walk of life they were from, they were all beautiful. Like, everybody there was beautiful. And what it came down to, like, as I spent more time there, is that these people were all active. That, yeah, they were eating this stuff on occasion. I guess they could handle it. I don't think I can. But they were also very active. Like, everybody there surfed, They rode their bikes. They walked. Like that's what the people there did. They were all very, very active. And I mean, the first time I went there, I was in my early 50s. And I remember I was looking at these 80-year-old women that were out of my league. And I was like, I couldn't get that. You know, I'm that fucking disgusting that I couldn't even get this. You know, not even, but you know, but like everybody there was just beautiful. And yeah, so it's not the United States. Oh, it's the United States. We do that. We have a problem here, granted, but they have a problem everywhere. People have money, right? And time. And that's what it really is people who have excess money and excess time. We live a good life here. And as a result, we get fucking lazy. And we use our leisure time to do really bad shit to ourselves. And that's the difference, I believe, right?
The whole entire world, that as far as obesity is concerned, the United States is the number one in the world.
We're the leading.
So
the reason why is because we don't tell people the truth. It's all feels before reals. Like
that's true too. And, you know, yeah, but like I said, look, they have problems in Europe too. I've been to Europe, and there's a lot of fat people there too.
No disrespect, but the dumb shit you said earlier. So why you said it? Oh, fuck how I said it. You're fat.
Right.
You're fucking.
I said the impoverished countries, they don't have it. They have no food. There's no spare time, you know? If you look at it too, the suicide rates here are higher than they are in these impoverished countries too. They don't have time to think about, oh, my mother didn't love me enough and, you know, oh, my boyfriend left me. They're busy, you know, like finding enough cockroaches to eat for the day. You know what I mean? Like to get that protein from the bugs. They eat bugs in these other countries, right? You ain't going to get fat eating that shit, you know? Like, yikes.
Fat, period. Whether you're a man, woman, I don't care, he, she, whatever.
You're overweight,
it's unacceptable for you to be fat. But only in the United States do we coddle and say, plus size model, you know, curvy.
Well, no, some of the biggest, I think, no pun intended, but one of the biggest plus size models is from Britain. I wish I could remember her name. Not that it really matters.
Accepting of it, where like so many people are pushing acceptance of obesity. So many people are pushing acceptance of people being fat. Like not even in a sense of like me for the fact that I work out or anything like that, but like why would we push people to?
Right. And a lot of these fat people, right? I get called fat phobic. I'm fine with that. I am fat phobic. Right here, you can point your fingers at me. I am fat phobic. I am absolutely scared to death of being fat again. I never want to get fat again. No longer pre-diabetic. I'm not on the heart medication. My joints feel great, right? I don't have back pain anymore. I don't have knee pain anymore. I don't have hip pain anymore. And what they'll also do is tell this woman right here who is physically fit and who is very attractive, you're buying into that societal bullshit that you have to. No, she just takes care of herself. And she looks good and feels good about it. And it feels good. Because let me tell you something. Well, I hate that fucking spin cycle. I fucking hate it, right? I feel great about it when I'm done. When I'm done, I feel good, man. I worked up a sweat. The endorphins are pumping. I feel really good, man. I did something good for myself. I improved my health. I feel good. I got more energy. I'm doing great, right? Doing it sucks. That's what takes the discipline, is that, you know, to continue with it, even when it hurts, you know? But the same thing can be said about eating. You continue with it, even though it hurts. There's discipline in that. I got to tell you. I'm going to McDonald's again. I could barely waddle over there, but I eat my 5 Big Macs or whatever the fuck they sell over there, right?
Want to be something that is not healthy for them.
Okay,
what? Population control?
She got nice ink too.
What is it at the end of the day? Like,
no, it's just because it's more marketable to tell people that it's okay to be fat.
So do you
holding
think
people to a standard is considered discrimination nowadays?
So
yeah, that's true.
Should be skinny.
I mean,
not skinny,
healthy.
fit.
Okay.
There's a difference between skinny and fit.
You're trying to become a
Healthy.
I'm not trying to be like that.
And as I say, you don't get caught up in the number. You get caught up in the health. You're not doing this to lose weight. You're doing this to be healthy. You're doing this to have a healthy, right-sized body.
You can't be to the extreme, man. It's like, oh, you want everybody to be skinny? No, I just don't want them to be fat pieces of shit. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
And honestly, when I see fat women, it's even worse because it's like, bro, you had one job. Like, how are you fat as a woman when your looks literally define most of your value?
Thyroid.
What the fuck? Thyroid? Yeah, like what? Get the fuck out of here, bro. You eat too much chicken thighs. That's what's going on. Fried.
All right. Again, that's Fresh and Fit. We want to give credit to them for the clip, and yeah, and that's it, you know, and you can do this, and I'm on your side. You know, watch these podcasts because I'm telling you, you can be healthy, and you don't have to, you know, look who could possibly defend letting you eat yourself to death, because that's exactly what you're doing. If you're obese, you are eating yourself to death, and it is absolutely no different than snorting yourself to death, shooting yourself to death, drinking yourself to death, fucking yourself to death, because people do all of these things, right? You gamble yourself to death, and the only one that they deem acceptable, right? Because even on gambling sites and everything, if you have a problem with gambling, dial 1-800-GAMBLER, blah, 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 which is all bullshit because they don't care about that either. And that's another podcast itself. My father was a degenerate gambler, and it killed him. It killed him, you know? But the only one that we deem acceptable and that we, let's say anything. It's probably because most of our society suffers from obesity now. It's true. Over 50% of America suffers from obesity. So because we don't want to address it, right? We say, oh, well, we can't make people feel bad. I'm going to make you feel bad. Lose the weight for your own good. Lose the weight because you love your children enough to be around for them, right? You love your kids enough that you don't want to die before you see your children get married and have kids of their own and hold your grandchildren and do all of these wonderful things that happen later in life. Because right now in your 30s, like I said, it may be fine. You women, you may be getting some dick. It's fine, because listen, I always say it's easy. You can always get laid as a woman. You go down and there are men who'll fuck you no matter what you look like. You can get laid. But it's not a matter of that. What kind of people do you want in your life, right? So you can have kids. You want to see those kids grow up. You want to see them have children of their own. You want to watch them graduate high school and college, have careers, and do all these things. You want to stop living that mediocre life that makes you feel like a piece of shit inside. Fuck what society says. What do you tell yourself when you look in the mirror? When you look in the mirror, are you really looking at somebody and say, wow, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. I don't think so. I know I tried to sell that shit to myself, and it was all a lie. It was all a lie. Get healthy, start losing the weight. My name is Dwight Gillespie, and this is Trash TV Review, which you could probably just as easily go on my other channel, which is the Change Your Life channel. And it's a softer approach to some of these things. Do yourself a favor, check it out. Now, on this one, please like this, subscribe to this, share this by all means. Leave comments. If you think I'm a jerk off for calling you fat and calling out fat people, let me know, and we can discuss it. I'm not into name calling though. I'm not into name calling. I don't think that you're a bad person because you're heavy. I think you're unhealthy. And I think that you can do better for yourself and for your loved ones, for the people around you. I think you can do better. I want you to do better. And that's what it's about. It's not about what I think of you. It's about what you think of you. All right? My name is Dwight Gillespie. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time. Be well. Take care, people.